Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to our channel, AI Era Islamic Abrahamic Wisdom. Today, we're diving into a really critical topic, drawing inspiration from Mr. Zahir Ahmad Mir's book, Hazrat Abu Bakr As-Siddiq, R.A., Leadership in Faith and Integrity in the AI Era. We're living in a time where everything you see, everything you hear can be a lie. AI can fake videos, it can clone voices, it can invent entire stories out of thin air. So the big question is, how do we know what's real anymore? It's a huge problem. But the solution, believe it or not, isn't found in a new app or some piece of code. It's found in ancient wisdom. We're going to build a powerful framework for defending truth using the example of a 7th century leader. Okay, let's get into this. So let's start with the obvious one. We all have that old saying in our heads, seeing is believing. Well, you can pretty much throw that out the window. The deepfake technology we have today is getting so scarily good so fast that any video you stumble upon, no matter how convincing it looks, could be a total fabrication. It's designed from the ground up to fool you, to manipulate your emotions, and to make you believe something that never, ever happened. And it goes way beyond just what you see. Think about what you hear. That voice message you get, maybe it sounds exactly like a friend, a family member, or a famous public figure. Well, that too can be a perfect digital copy. The tech to clone a voice is out there, and it's becoming easier and easier to use. It turns sound itself, one of the most fundamental ways we connect, into just another tool for deception. It's a scary thought, right? But the real danger here isn't just one fake photo or a single doctored audio clip. That's small stuff. The real power, the real threat, is the ability to weave all of these fakes together to create entire false narratives. We're talking about completely fabricated speeches, manipulated news reports, fake evidence, all of it bundled together into a story that can go viral across the globe in a matter of minutes. It's literally rewriting reality in real time right before our eyes. So, yeah, this is the world we live in, the age of the deepfake. And it's not just some abstract tech problem. It threatens our personal relationships, our trust in institutions, even our political stability. So with this tidal wave of digital lies coming at us, where can we possibly turn for a guide? Where do we find a compass that still points true? Well, the answer isn't in Silicon Valley. It's somewhere much more unexpected. Our guide actually comes from 7th century Arabia. We're going way back. We're talking about Abu Bakr, the closest companion of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Now, he was given a very special, very specific title, a Siddiq. And it's right there, inside that title and the incredible character behind it, that we find a rock-solid framework for our modern digital chaos. You see, As-Siddiq isn't just a nickname. It's a profound description of his very essence. It means the one who immediately affirms the truth. Think about that for a second. It's not just someone who likes the truth or tells the truth. It signifies a person whose inner moral compass is so perfectly calibrated, so aligned with what is right and real, that they recognize truth instantly, and they stand by it without a single shred of doubt. And this title wasn't just handed to him. It was earned. It was forged in moments of intense pressure. The most famous example is when the Prophet described his miraculous night journey, the Mi'raj. To many, the story sounded impossible, and they openly mocked him. They ran to Abu Bakr expecting him to doubt as well. But his response was immediate and legendary. He basically said, if he said it, then it is true. Full stop. He didn't just quietly believe it, he went out and publicly supported the truth when it was under attack. His entire life was a masterclass in this principle. So if we drill down into this incredible example, we can pull out 2 core principles that are honestly perfectly designed for the digital age we live in. First, there's truth recognition, which is the skill of actually identifying what is true in a sea of lies. And second, there's truth protection, the active, courageous duty to stand up and defend that truth once you've found it. Recognize it, then protect it. All right, let's tackle that first principle, recognition. How do you do it? In a world that's just drowning in information, misinformation, and disinformation, how do we possibly find the signal in all that noise? Well, we can actually think about Abu Bakr's method as a kind of algorithm, a clear step-by-step process for filtering reality. And the foundational rule of this algorithm, the absolute core of it, is this simple but powerful idea. Look at the source, not the noise. When he was confronted with the unbelievable story of the Mi'raj, he didn't get distracted by the noise, the public mockery, the whispers of doubt, the emotional chaos. He went straight to the source. He evaluated the character, the proven integrity, and the lifelong honesty of the speaker, the Prophet himself. That's where the truth was. So how do we take that wisdom and make it a practical checklist for 2024? Well, here it is. We can call it the Siddiq algorithm. Step 1, source verification. Who is telling me this? Are they trustworthy? Do they have a reputation for honesty? Step 2, fact-checking. Are the claims they're making actually verifiable? Step 3, cross-checking evidence. Are other reliable sources reporting the same thing? Step 4, logical consistency. Does the story even make sense, or are there giant holes in it? And finally, Step 5, ethical integrity. What's the intent behind this information? Is it to inform, or is it to deceive and divide? See? Truth requires a real process. And when you put it side by side like this, the difference is just night and day. On one side, you've got the Siddiq algorithm. It relies on authentic narratives from credible people. It looks for multiple witnesses. It demands cross-checked evidence. On the other side, you've got digital noise. It thrives on viral lies that spread on emotion alone. It's fueled by anonymous accounts with no accountability. And its currency is the easily faked screenshot. One is a rigorous, patient search for truth. The other is just a chaotic storm of manipulation. Okay, but let's move on to the second principle. Because recognizing the truth, as important as it is only half the battle. Once you've gone through the process and you've found it, the lesson from As-Siddiq is crystal clear. Now you have a duty to defend it. This is such a critical shift in how we need to think. Being a passive consumer of information just doesn't cut it anymore. Not in an age where lies are actively weaponized. I mean, deepfakes can ruin lives, they can sway court cases, they can manipulate elections, and they can absolutely trigger real-world violence. In a world like this, truth isn't just an idea. It's a battlefield, and on that battlefield, silence isn't neutral. Silence is a form of complicity. History shows us exactly how Abu Bakr handled this. His approach was incredibly firm and decisive. When false prophets began to emerge after the death of the Prophet Muhammad, threatening the very foundation of the community, he didn't wait around. He didn't negotiate with falsehood. He didn't delay his response. There was absolutely no compromise on the core principle of truth, and he showed zero weakness in its defense. It was a clear, unwavering stand. So what does that decisive spirit look like for us today on our phones and laptops? Well, it means taking real, concrete actions. Truth protection in our era means reporting fake content when you see it. It means demanding that platforms remove harmful lies. It's about educating our own friends and family so they don't get fooled. It's protecting the vulnerable who might be easily manipulated. It's having the courage to confront lies publicly, and when possible, exposing the people who create and spread this deception. This quote really just sums the whole thing up perfectly. Every single time we're scrolling and we see a piece of obvious misinformation, and we just keep on scrolling, we're letting that falsehood get a little bit stronger. We're giving it room to grow. But every time we take action, even something small like hitting the report button or posting a link to a fact check, we are actively protecting the truth. We're strengthening reality. And that brings us to the most important part of this whole conversation, your role in all of this. Because this isn't just some interesting history lesson. This is a practical, hands-on guide for every single one of us trying to navigate this crazy modern world. The legacy of As-Siddiq gives us this powerful, two-step framework that is more relevant today than it has ever been. It's simple. First, use that algorithm of truth to recognize what is real. Be a truth detective. Check the source, cross-reference, verify. And then, second, have the courage to protect that truth. Be a truth guardian. Take deliberate, decisive action. So I'm going to leave you with this final question to think about. In our age of deep fake lies and constant digital manipulation, the battle for truth is happening everywhere all the time. It's on your social media feed. It's in your family group chats. It's in the news you watch. So when you encounter a lie that is spreading like wildfire, what will you be? A silent bystander who lets it burn? Or will you embody the spirit of As-Siddiq and become a protector of truth? The choice, really, is ours to make every day. And if this framework and this message resonated with you, please subscribe to our channel. Give this video is the big question, isn't it? And it's not some abstract philosophical thing. It's personal. Seriously, just think about the last time you were scrolling and saw a headline that just made your blood boil, or you watched a video that seemed way too shocking to be real. Was that content actually there to inform you, or was it designed to provoke you? Every single day, we're navigating this digital minefield of information, misinformation, and, let's be honest, deliberate disinformation. It's a constant battle for clarity. So how do we arm ourselves? How do we find the real signal in all of that engineered noise? What's so important about this is how it frames the problem. We're not just dealing with some random false information here and there. No, we're facing a full-on storm of engineered emotional triggers. These aren't mistakes. They are weapons, precision targeted at our own psychology. A deepfake isn't just a fake video. It's this sophisticated illusion, right? It's crafted to completely bypass your rational brain and just hit you with a gut punch of anger or fear. Those fake news headlines? They are A/B tested to find the perfect, most divisive combination of words to create an us versus them feeling. And that shocking image you saw? Yeah, that was designed specifically to stun you, to overwhelm your critical thinking and force an immediate emotional reaction. It's a storm of propaganda, and it's aimed squarely at our instincts. And this, right here, brilliantly illustrates the critical choice we have in every single one of those moments. The digital storm wants us to have that immediate, unthinking reaction, rage, shock, division. But the model we're exploring today offers a totally different path, a wiser, more deliberate response. So instead of that raw anger, we can choose calm. Instead of being paralyzed by shock, we can actively seek clarity. And when we're faced with content that is literally engineered to divide us, our most powerful weapon is an absolute commitment to verification. This is the moment of choice. It is the crucial pivot point. Are we going to be a puppet of the algorithm, or are we going to be an agent of truth? This right here is the core principle. You should almost think of it as your new mantra for the digital world. The provocation, that's the trap. Clarity, that's your escape. This whole idea, drawn from the steadfast example of Abu Bakr, teaches that our first response should never be to share in anger or to just believe blindly. Our first response should be to pause. Just take a breath. Recognize that this might be an attempt to manipulate you, and then begin that quiet, powerful search for clarity. It's a defensive move, and it preserves your own integrity before you even think about engaging. So, how do we actually put this into practice? How do we turn this awesome philosophy into something we can do every day? Well, the source material gives us this timeless and really practical framework for navigating our complex digital world, which we're calling the Siddiq Model. And this isn't just some lofty ideal. It's an actionable set of principles for our daily lives. Okay, this is the toolkit. This is the good stuff. Let's break it down point by point. First up, verify before believing. In the age of AI, our own eyes and ears are just not reliable witnesses anymore. AI can cook up video, audio, and images that are basically indistinguishable from reality. So the new habit we all have to build is a healthy, constructive skepticism. Second, check the source. This is so fundamental. Before you even let the content sink in, ask, who posted this? What's their track record? Do they have a clear agenda? Are they trying to sell me something? These are basic journalist questions we all need to get good at asking for ourselves. Third, cross-check sources. This is absolutely essential. A lie might be told one way over here and spun a totally different way over there, but the truth will stay consistent across multiple, credible, independent sources. You have to step outside your bubble. Fourth, reject divisive content. Think of this as a powerful moral and intellectual filter. If a post's main goal seems to be to stoke hatred or outrage or just plain chaos, treat it with extreme suspicion. Truth wants to illuminate, it doesn't want to inflame. Fifth, speak the truth, even when it costs you something. This is all about deep personal integrity. It's so easy to go along with a popular lie, but the title As-Siddiq, the truthful, means having a profound commitment to what is right, even when it's super inconvenient or unpopular. And finally, number 6, defend the truth publicly. Why is this one so critical? Because lies and propaganda, they thrive in the vacuum of silence. When good people who know the truth say nothing, deception wins by default. This model isn't just about protecting yourself, it's about actively protecting your community and the very idea of a shared reality. But here's the tough question. Can we really solve a systemic problem with individual action alone? Personal integrity is the foundation, for sure, but sometimes it can feel like you're bringing a shield to a drone fight. So to really tackle this at scale, these principles from the Siddiq model have to be expanded to create safeguards for our entire society, building a bridge from our individual honor to collective institutional trust. This slide gives us a glimpse of what that blueprint could actually look like. And it requires a huge, coordinated effort from our institutions, governments, big tech companies, media organizations, all of them. This means investing heavily in technologies like deepfake detection systems and making them accessible to everybody. It could mean creating brand new, specialized bodies, maybe something like digital truth verification courts, to rapidly and expertly rule on sophisticated digital fraud. And crucially, there have to be real consequences. We need clear laws that penalize people who knowingly create and spread malicious digital fakes for profit or political gain. But proactive measures are just as important. building national cybersecurity centers that are focused specifically on sniffing out and neutralizing large-scale disinformation campaigns. It also means sensible regulation on how AI is used in political ads and holding media accountable to high standards of verification. And finally, it demands massive, ongoing public awareness campaigns to give every single citizen the critical thinking skills we've been talking about.
So, the crucial point is this. While our individual actions are the absolute bedrock of a truthful society, we can't fight this battle alone. Truth is a public good. Think of it like clean air or safe roads. It requires constant maintenance and protection. Just like we have laws and institutions to protect us from fraud in the physical world, we need a robust, modern infrastructure to protect the integrity of information in the digital world. Our personal commitment to truth has to be supported and defended by the very institutions that structure our society.
Ultimately, after all this talk about models and institutions, it all comes back to us. It comes back to you, and it comes back to me. The best systems and the most advanced tools in the world are completely meaningless without that human element of courage and conviction. It all boils down to our individual willingness to take on this role in the fight for clarity. Because at the end of the day, truth isn't just a concept, it's a commitment, and that commitment requires courage. It all starts right here, with a simple, conscious decision to open your eyes and actually engage your mind. It's the commitment to look past the shiny, distracting, emotionally manipulative surface of a piece of content and apply that patient, critical thinking that's necessary to recognize what's real and what's a total fabrication. But just recognizing it isn't enough, right? We have to become its guardians. And this is an active role. It means being the person in your friend group or your family who refuses to share stuff they haven't checked out. It means having the courage to gently correct misinformation when you see it, protecting the very idea of truth from people who would devalue it for clicks or chaos. And this is the final and maybe the most courageous act, to stand with truth publicly and without any apology, especially when it's unpopular, especially when the digital mob is screaming for a convenient lie. This is the absolute essence of integrity in the digital age, aligning what you believe privately with what you do publicly. Just let that sink in for a second. Truth isn't some passive thing that just exists in a vacuum, waiting for us to find it. Its power in our world, its ability to shape a better reality, is directly proportional to our collective willingness to defend it. Every single time we verify a source, every time we refuse to amplify a divisive lie, every time we speak up with well-researched facts, we aren't just observers. We are actively making truth more powerful. And this brings us right back full circle to that beautiful and powerful term we started with, Siddiqiyya. It's so much more than just telling the truth. It's the complete embodiment of a deep, unwavering principled commitment to truth in all its forms. It is the moral courage to be a source of light and clarity in an age that so often feels filled with digital darkness. It's the quality our world desperately, desperately needs right now. So I'll leave you with a challenge, a way to put this whole model into practice right now, today. And look, it doesn't have to be some grand public confrontation. It could be a subtle rumor you hear at work, a misleading headline a family member shares, or just a piece of gossip in a group chat. What is one lie, big or small, that you will choose to confront this week? Not with anger, not with outrage, but with the quiet, unshakable courage of clarity.